So many cars claim to be unique, but the Range Rover really is, continuing to set the standard in the super luxury SUV sector. Launched in 2012, then substantially improved in 2018 to create the model we're going to look at here, this aluminium-bodied 4th generation version offers the option of plug-in hybrid power, and in all its guises claims to be able to properly combine the imperious qualities of a top luxury saloon with off-piste abilities that would be limited only by the skills of its driver. A Rolls Royce in the rough, there's nothing quite like it.
On the move in a Range Rover, luxury, comfort, refinement, craftsmanship and outright performance all fused together as part of this car's imperious progress, whether that be on turf or on tarmac. All the available powertrains offer exemplary refinement, but should you select one that adds in electrified assistance, then, as you might imagine, this car is particularly quiet. Now, we're referring here to the petrol-electric hybrid engine used in the P400e variant that we've chosen to test today. This version may only have 4 cylinders, but it boasts a combined power output of 404 PS, a claimed all-electric driving range of 31 miles, and running cost figures 101 miles per gallon on the combined cycle and a WLTP CO2 reading of 73 grams per kilometre that are better than a Toyota Prius. Never fear though if you don't feel the need to make some sort of corporate responsibility statement. There are more conventional power plants still available. Now most buyers select one of the diesels, either the base 258 horsepower TDV6 or the 339 horsepower SDV8. There's also a couple of minority interest supercharged petrol models, either a 340 horsepower 3-litre V6 or a 5-litre V8, developing either 525 or 565 horsepower. Whatever your choice of engine, you might find yourself surprised by how adeptly this car tackles tarmac turns at speed. But of course, the 2.5 tonne curb weight has to tell somewhere, so it's better to throttle back, enjoy the commanding driving position and amaze yourself at just how easy it is to thread this 5 metre long and 2 metre wide luxury conveyance down a narrow British country lane, or indeed down a gnarly forest track. Intelligent 4-wheel drive, a low ratio gearbox and Land Rover's peerless terrain response driving mode system all combine to preserve this model's reputation for Serengeti superiority. No other vehicle takes as much pride in going where it probably shouldn't. This is every inch a Range Rover. You know it as such even without a glance at the elegant badgework, which is exactly as it should be. Jerry McGovern's design team committed early on to protect the visual characteristics that have always made this car what it is. The wraparound clamshell bonnet, the deep glass area, the low waist and the straight side feature line with no wedge or step up inside styling, the close wheel arch cuts and the 2-piece tailgate. Specific changes made to this model for the 2018 model year mainly centre around this revised front grille. Land Rover had to redesign this to allow for the insertion of the charging port needed for the new PHEV model. This bumper's been restyled too. It now features these widened vent blades. So let's take a seat inside. You'd be disappointed if you didn't have to climb up into the Range Rover. That's part of its appeal. Seated commandingly up front amongst the beautiful leathers, the polished metal, the deep pile carpet and the glossy surfacing, you'll find yourself in a cabin that looks as classy and cosseting as ever. It features clean, elegant controls, wider, redesigned leather seats and a new era Touch Pro Duo infotainment system that we first saw on the Velar, complete with its 2 high-definition 10-inch central touchscreens. Anything that this Panasonic developed setup can't tell you will almost certainly be covered off by the digitally customisable 12.3-inch so-called interactive driver display that you view through this imposing 4-spoke stitched multifunction wheel. Right, let's take a seat in the rear, and that's an important area for Land Rover to get right with this car, hence the 42mm of extra wheelbase length added into this 4th generation model. Even in this short wheelbase model, it's easy to get comfortable once you're inside with, as standard, heated upholstery and a powered reclining backrest for longer journeys. There's over 1 metre of leg stretching room, and you can extend that by a further 186 millimetres if you go for the long wheelbase body style. Let's head to the back. Now, as usual with the Range Rover, there's a classic split tailgate, which these days is power operated and gesture controlled with a wave of your foot beneath the bumper. Once it's activated, a 909 litre luggage bay is revealed. You'll get a bit less if you go for this PHEV variant, but the space available still outshines what's on offer from many key rivals, and it's very accessible thanks to buttons which can activate the air suspension to lower the floor height. More buttons electronically flatten the rear seat backs, and that frees up as much as 2,360 litres of cargo room. From princes to politicians, from rock gods to rock climbers, from footballers to farmers, the Range Rover has always appealed to a more diverse group of customers than any other car. Especially in this much improved post-2018 era form. In this guise, the Range Rover finally has a cabin with technology befitting its exalted price tag, being better connected, safer and even more luxurious. Much has changed then, but thank goodness at the same time, nothing here is really different. Drive this car through a river, drive it to the opera. It's as happy either way. It's beautifully built, it's gorgeously finished, and with the right engine, it's astonishingly quick. True, this Range Rover is never quite going to be all things to all people, but it has perhaps moved as close to fulfilling that remit as any modern car is ever likely to get. Makes you proud to be British, doesn't it?